Hi. Check out this situation. It's Iguazu. But which one's the real Iguazu and which one's the pretender Iguazu? Who's the faker here? It's a difficult question, honestly. You got, on one side, you got Iguazu. On the other side, you got Iguazu in slightly worse lighting, because I set it up to be good lighting for that angle. And then you got just Volta over here, just being Volta. Volting it up. But really now, who do you think is the true Iguazu here? Vote. I'm gonna set the stats back to normal. There we go. Exposure's normal. There we go. Alright, which Iguazu is Iguazu? The one on the left or the one on the right? It's a tough choice. I'll give you 5 extra seconds to figure it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, the real answer, if we use the camera's like end radius as a means of determining the solution, as we just sort of ascend and rotate the camera wildly, we'll see that the top of the circle, the sphere of where the camera can go, is centered around this Iguazu right here. So this one is the faker. This one is indeed myself. And then the other one over here is actual Iguazu. So this is real Iguazu. Congratulations, you have been informed. Now that you have this information, we can go back to the regular gameplay scenario and do regular gameplay stuff. Now, we're not in the arena, and so this is not where I'm supposed to be. But that's fine. We know what we're about. We know what we're here. This is going to be, at least nominally, another collection of Arena Royale. I have the spreadsheet. I am good to go. Our first fight and possible prospective fights to go forward are all of the Headbringer fights. We are playing as Iguazu, and we got to beat all the people in the arena. After that, we go the next. There is not a pre-existing fight that we have already done in the like roll up to the next thing until Barren Flower, so we don't have to worry about accidentally doing a duplicate fight for quite a while, or unless somebody schedules a fight. I believe the channel point redemption for that is still available. But to begin, we begin! Hello, Sam. Welcome to being here. I'm about to fight Invincible Rummy, and we will see how this goes.
Welcome to the Arena Combat Aptitude
Yeah,
Evaluation.
don't worry, all mine. I understand what's going on. You don't have to tutorialize me all the time. We fight! Okay, so how's Iguazu work? I have a linear rifle, I have some sort of automatic rifle of some kind. I have regular missiles, and I have a shield. Shield meta is not something I'm particularly good at, but Iguazu otherwise is pretty well-rounded. It's just sort of suppression by a bullet fire, it seems. Missiles, just do the damage. Decent mid-range kiter, I would say. And that's one down. We continue. So what are my concerns? My concerns are heavy-duty or long-range opponents that try and like either focus me down with big damage or try and be real long-range and I can't get close.
Main system.
Especially because I'm slightly lower on firepower than I would usually be for an AC, because this AC elects to have a shield. It's also important to note that I'm looking at the stats here, and it does not appear that Iguazu has a core expansion. This is understandable given how early in the game Iguazu is, and also because I don't think he's the kind of person who would have a core expansion, given that he just sort of kind of exists. I suppose he and Volta, given that they're like the two ACs you fight, or actually fight alongside really early in the campaign, they are probably the highest in the arena that don't have a core expansion at all. because they were teed up to be theoretically strong allies, but theoretically strong allies that you fight or find at the earliest onset of the game, before you're even aware that core expansions are a thing even.
Arena combat
I don't actually remember when the arena becomes real, like when it unlocks.
Activating combat mode.
It's pretty early in Chapter 1, but I don't think it's immediately. So my plan is I'm going to go with a bit of a combined arms, just suppressing a lot of fire, just shooting a lot, doing some kicks for some punish on the stagger. But other than that, it's just sort of just casually sit around, shoot bullets, inflict carnage. Kind of reminds me of Sula, how I played that a bit. It's not exactly the same because I haven't brought out the shield yet. Sorry, not Sula. What am I thinking of? Bitter Promise. That's the one. Just kind of go around and shoot. Yeah, Bitter Promise is the one I'm thinking of. Speaking of Bitter Promise, that's our next fight. Eventually, as we get into harder opponents, I am going to have to deploy the shield, both in the literal sense of pressing the button that makes the shield deploy itself, but also in integrating it into my tactics.
Arena combat
Which will allow me to turn the tide on fights that would otherwise, like, I would lose on attrition. The shield will let me win on attrition in battles where I would normally not win on attrition. But until then, I prefer to focus on evasion. But what is the Iguazu brand of punishment? Is it the linear rifle? I mean, that's pretty good. I suppose I can shield up for basically free at any time where I'm reloading the machine gun. That's good to know. I mean, Headbringer as an AC... Oops, wrong button. Headbringer as an AC is pretty well rounded. It's a Melander C3, and I generally like the Melander C3 line of parts. I used the arms for the Melander C3 on an earlier version of Tidewater. The V3 era.
Arena combat aptitude.
Due to its pretty high firearm specification and general good stats overall. Okay, so as always, Materlink is going to be sort of the first tricky bit. I tried to swap to a melee weapon. I don't have a melee weapon, but I tried to swap to one. Oh, another thing I can take advantage of, which I'm not used to, is that I have regular weapons. Just regular firearms that I can fire passively. Which means that I can use them while assault boosting. This is something I only ever really experienced natively when I'm using Joyous Guard. But even then, I'm trying to be in such close range that I'm just assault boosting to get in. And I prefer kicking as a solution to that. So I kick them and then they're stationary and then I hit them with the pistols. But there are advantages to firing a gun while assault boosting, and these have a bit further range so I can do it more reliably against an evasive opponent. Better impact damage, reduced impact on yourself. Remember the missiles. Kick into linear rifle, I think, is a decent idea. Shield, though, is just something I have to slowly whittle down over time. Maybe a good kick in there. There we go. Batter down with bullets. We're making good time, I think. I don't know. The stream's only been active for a little over 10 minutes, so I can't really say. Oh, we're on Swinburne.
Arena combat.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
Another shielder, and this one's designed for long duration shield deployment, so I think our best bet is to overload the shield. Linear? Ooh. Alright, I have to charge that a bit earlier to get that to work. They've been staggered. Their shield is probably out of commission for a while at least. Enough to stagger again? Almost. No. Not like it'll take long, though. And there's the kick. Swinburne down.
Arena combat
Next up.
aptitude evaluation program.
Lilong.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
Lilong's very similar to Swinburne as an opponent, in that they're Tetra, they fly in the air, they do the Tetri stuff, and they have a shield. So it's really just a matter of they're trying to be a flying fortress, and you just gotta keep up the pressure. Whoa! Almost got me there. Yeah, Iguazu's not much of a thinking AC. He just sort of shoots and hits people. That might have staggered the shield. It might have some time before it cools down. Maybe if I... Okay, so that does work. I'm a little hesitant to use the charge linear shot in a open situation, because I don't like to be kept vulnerable. I'm very much in the philosophy of dodge bullet. Even though Iguazu's shield, or just shields in general, are in the philosophy of absorb bullet. Candle rings are going to be tricky. Candle ring is very fast. I wonder what FCS Iguazu has installed.
Arena combat aptitude evaluation.
I could check. I assume it's like one of the Balaam ones. Abbott or Talbot. Either way, optimized for close range. There's a shield. Yeah, they're weaseling out of my injuries that I'm trying to deliver upon them. But then just saturated fire with everything I have is pretty good stagger punish. I don't even need to kick. That might just be interrupting me from doing more damage. Did I hit restart or did I hit go back to the...
Main system.
Yeah, I hit restart. I don't need to be here. You had your fight, Candle Ring. I'm done with you. Okay, next up is... I decided to scroll up for some reason. Reconfig.
Arena.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
I remember my time as Reconfig vaguely fondly, though admittedly they all kind of blurs together. Oh, okay, yep. I remember that part. That's a classic Reconfig move. Having a shield, also classic Reconfig behavior. kicked you, so it didn't count. I'm actually running low on the health, and that's probably because, yep. That was a necessary use of the shield there. Okay, now we just, attrition them at long range. We have the advantage at long range because they use lasers, and we win. Ooh, okay. That one was close.
Target destroyed. Concluding.
Alright, I think we learned a very, very important use case for the shield. It stops you from being hurt as much. Really weird behavior for a shield to have, by the way. Time for the mirror match. Headbringer versus Headbringer. I wonder if Iguazu's resentment towards you is that you are a freelancer and
Arena combat
like Headbringer as an AC name kind of sounds like bounty hunting in a sense. Because you look at his emblem, it's a bunch of ants giving a, like, delivering the head of a beetle of some kind. Like, maybe he's like, how come you get to be a freelancer? I gotta be stuck with heckin' Michigan, who I hate, and Volta, who I am vaguely friends with. It could be some secret personal backstory lore. There's a lot of secret personal backstory lore. This game is made by a video game developer from Software. They tend to make, like, very convoluted layer cakes of story and lore, just passively. They give you all the ingredients, you gotta bake the cake yourself, though. It's kinda cool, because then it's like, you discover it. It's an expedition to learn the lore. It has made me want to play other games by From Software games. Unfortunately, not many of them are as sci-fi as this one, so I've been hesitant. Because, like, look, there's a robot. I want to fight in the robot. That's what I want to do. I don't want to dodge roll in medieval space. Like not medieval space, but like medieval Eldritch Zone. I want to shoot gun from robots, fire bazooka. Still, though, the allure is very high. Gotcha! Okay, Rokumonsen. Respect the threat. Rokumonsen has the whip. I fear the whip as a close quarters water strider band. The whip is lethal to me. Ran out of bullets. Did not run out of kicks. Going. Maybe reload the gun. Yeah, they tried to whip me, but I escaped. They have another shield. That's okay. I don't care, though. I basically can just win by hitting them with a single bullet ever. Excellent finish. Stylish, even. Alright, time to fight Volta. It's Volta on Volta fight. It's not Volta on Volta, it's Iguazu on Volta. But Volta's here and he's like a tank that counts as like 2 ACs in terms of mass.
Main system.
And time it takes to do a fight. Maybe this will give us some insight as to why Volta's gun 4 and Iguazu's gun 5. Okay, so due to the general playstyle of just sort of flying around my enemies, I am using the muscle memory provided by Joyous Guard. And unfortunately, that means that when I stagger my opponent, my instinct is to hit them with a knife combo. Unfortunately, I, as Iguazu, do not have a knife, which means I just sort of get close to my enemies and can't do anything. I think I'm seeing the weakness of Iguazu, and it's that if you're just firing bullets nonchalantly, there's going to be a moment where you literally are reloading everything at the same time and can do absolutely nothing. But on the flip side, if you have ammunition when your opponent staggers, you can just hit them with every bullet, and they will take every damage. Much better improvement, I would say. So Iguazu, therefore, I think, is all about the timing. Whoa. Okay, this is perhaps not the thing I should be talking about in an Armored Core 6 stream, but I've just received notification that the next update to Homeworld 3 is coming out in 3 days, which conveniently is the day I usually stream on, so maybe I can cover that. The patch notes have been released ahead of time, which is exciting. This will include the Taidan and Samta DLCs available so that you can be those ships as well, which is cool. The Taidan's interesting because they're like evil, theoretically, and the Samtal is interesting because that's they're a pretty important kith. I'm waiting for them to reimagine the some other kiths. Like, I know Samtal's like the one from Emergent/Cataclysm, but I really want to know, like, what's the deal with the, like, the Soban. I want to see what the Soban do as their space infrastructure, because the Sobans in the Coalition days were really cool. And I have accidentally turned this into me talking about Homeworld 3 while playing Armored Core 6. Oh, but can you imagine... Who do you think would win in a fight? I know I've asked this before, but who do you think would win the fight between the Strider and the Capisi? Now, I'm not going to include the Capisi's production capabilities. I feel like that's an unfair comparison, because the Capisi is a factory ship. It is meant to build stuff on site. The Strider is a mining ship, but not so much of a foundry. So I'm just going to say it's the Capisi innately, like full power, full energy production. It has the power to all of its modules, or can at least shunt them reasonably well, versus the Strider. And if a follow-up is required, the Strider versus the Soban carrier, because those are the two I care about. I think that I'm just talking about Homeworld 3 now while playing Armored Core 6. I apologize for crossing the streams here. But, you know, I need something to talk about during all these fights, and it may as well be stuff I like, and I like Homeworld. So, I think that it's tough to call. I think that the Capisi has one major advantage, and that is its nuclear missile that it can shoot. So if it can shoot and it can deliver like a really good solid shot, it might be able to eliminate the Strider, or at least the Eye, early into the fight. Now I know that destroying the Eye in AC6 destroyed the entirety of the Strider due to reasons. So that might just win the fight for the Capisi immediately. However, I think that if that nuke does not successfully destroy the Strider, I think the Strider wins pretty decidedly. It's taller, it's bigger, it has the Eye, it can just sort of destroy the Capisi over time. And I'm pretty sure that the Eye is a longer range than basically every single weapon the Capisi has. In addition, the fact that the Strider is sort of at altitude, like it's higher up, Means that many of the main weapons of the PC would not be able to hit it. All the Gatling guns designed for smaller light armor targets are not going to be effective in the slightest. The missiles that it uses just ambiently for like anti-air and like heavy small objects, not the nuke, but just the regular missiles, those might be effective. The last thing that I'm kind of considering is I don't know how to scale the deadly firepower of the Strider to the Capisi or vice versa. The Capisi wins the first strike with the nuke. If the Strider survives, I think the Strider will destroy the Capisi with consecutive eye laser attacks before the Capisi can get close enough to do reasonable damage to the legs and possibly topple it like an AT-AT in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. As for the Soban carrier, though, this one is interesting because the Soban's nuke is not a nuke. It is like an EMP microwave radiation death ball, which would do sustained damage over time. And its main weapons aren't Gatling guns, it is railguns. The Soban carrier, which I don't know if the Soban carrier has a proper name. I don't know if the Soban carrier is canon. It might be. I think it's canon that the Soban had carriers, but I don't think that there is a named carrier in Homeworld deserts at all. The microwave bomb could be good. I would scale it to the technology of Homeworld or Armored Core by calling it like just a really big plasma thing. If they can get like a central shot on the Strider, it might temporarily disable the eye. It also might like destroy all the shield generators defending the eye. It could also just overload that shield in general. So the mechanics of that nuke are interesting. But separate to that, I also think that the Soban carrier has better odds than the Capisi at long-range engagement because it has the deployable armed logistics modules. And I know that removing the production capability for like other units from the Capisi and the carrier. But those armed logistics modules are innate. It just sort of shoots them out. It can power them up, and it can use them to shoot, like, little stun cannons. Which might be able to... Less important is the fact that those weapons are powerful, but more so that they can be launched pretty darn far away from the carrier. Which means that the Soban could have reasonable chances to keep the Strider at range. They don't need to engage like obnoxiously close. Which means they could like find a way to not be in range of the eye laser and survive. If they can actually, like in the fight, disable or at least make the eye's laser irrelevant through like maybe the railguns can be fired at long range, but I feel like they still need to get pretty close, and that puts them in eye laser threat. But if they can get the eye laser threat, like they can circumvent it and get really close, I think those railguns will do pretty good work against the Strider systems. Given the general loadout of the Strider and like how it's interacted with in Armored Core, it feels as if the Strider's eye laser is anti-ground weapon, like to destroy things like the carrier or some heavy-duty vessel or whatnot. But that the rest of the guns on the ship are either anti-air or anti-small thing, like an AC. They don't really shoot down. The Strider does have missiles, but I forgot that until I said that out loud because the missiles were mostly inconsequential next to the eye. But yeah, that's my assessment. The victory of the carriers versus the Strider will depend on how effective the eyes, like how effective their missile nuke is at
Main system.
disabling the
Activating
eye or
combat
the
mode.
Strider in like one initial strike. If the Capisi does not succeed, it basically loses after that point. If the Soban carrier fails on the initial strike, it might have a chance at long-range disruption tactics with the logistics module. And that's basically the extent of my analysis on the situation. Now, if you add the production capability of the carrier, then you get a situation where maybe the carrier gets destroyed, but it has, like, other smaller, faster, powerful vessels that can close the gap. Then we have to deal with the Strider's, like, giant array of high-caliber weaponry. It's hard to imagine how that would go, and I also don't know how we would denote, like, material supply for the carriers. Like, where would they be salvaging this stuff? Arguably, they would be destroying the Strider so that they could salvage it for parts and technology.
Nice.
Here's another question that I would like to ask on the situation. Who would win? You know, actually, I don't want to ask that question. I was about to ask if the PCA ship would win against any amount of scaling from anything in the homeworld universe, and my immediate thought is no, those things are pretty dinky. I mean, the Kiel laser cannon's pretty good. I would describe the PCA's ships as kind of like the ion cannon artillery satellite thing from Homeworld 1. It's got a really good gun for long-range engagements, but it is comparatively fragile at anything closer. I wouldn't put much stock into its success in an engagement with any faction from the Homeworld universe, even against like the
Main system. Activating
like the
combat
deserts factions. I would say it would have a bad time because any of the carriers could just fire like one nuke at the bridge and it would just explode. You would need to have the PCA in like full artillery orbital bombardment mode for that. Like, just use the carriers as a closer system, even if they don't have the closure satellite. I suddenly have to think about the fight again because this is Dead Sled, and Dead Sled is vaguely a tough opponent. Got him. Okay. Thank you, Dead Sled, for making me focus. It was a good fight. I really want to look at the changelog. I really want to see what they put in. I know what they ostensibly put in because I read the roadmap, but I want to see it. I want to see the update. All right, I'm gonna kind of cheat and look at it a little bit during like the load. Like I'm gonna boot it up and I'm gonna see the changelog while everything's happening, just sort of casually, like it's not even a big deal. I don't even.
Arena combat aptitude evaluation.
Just gonna boot up Steam, look at the news. There we go. There's those patch notes I was looking for. And now we'll get to see them.
Steel Haze.
Yeah, you keep introducing Steel Haze. I want to read these modes. Okay. Wow, they okay, just Immediate start to the patch notes. All game modes. Extensive combat balance tuning. Overhaul and tuning of armor and weapon classes. They've completely rebalanced the game, which is exciting and a little worrying. I wonder if torpedo frigates are going to be my favorite thing anymore. They might be different. I gotta play the game now. Look forward to that. That's now high on my priority of things to do. Maybe I can trick someone else into playing with me. I would love to actually have an ally, a comrade in arms, but I don't know anyone. I don't know a coworker who would play Homeworld 3. This is kind of the curse with me, is that I have all of these interests that I want to do with other people, but I don't have anyone who is immediate acquaintances or friends with me that actually want to participate with me in them. And the people who do are like strangers. That's scary.
Target destroyed. Concluding evaluation.
Yeehaw. Alright. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between the patch notes and this just because I have no self-control in these kind of things. So we'll be seeing the introductions for a few opponents now as I read this. Let's see. Strengthening unit roles and identities. Strength, weaknesses, counters, etc. Okay, so they've made the ships, I guess, more specialized. Their roles are a bit more clear and distinct.
Arena combat
Balance
aptitude
tuning,
evaluation program.
more!
Number 8.
Exclamation mark.
Final evaluation.
Improvements to ship combat behavior and unit responsiveness, that's good. Tech tree balancing pass, resourcing changes, new reinforce ability added in all modes. What do you mean a new reinforce ability? Do they mean reinforce as in like armor reinforcements? Like the like that one frigate or like that one frigate ability? Or do they mean like reinforce as in reinforcements? I feel like it would be weird in the game of Homeworld to have a reinforcements button, because you're supposed to build the ships. Like you said, it's a strategy game. It's a resource managing strategy game.
Target destroyed. This concludes B rank.
I guess I'll have to investigate when it comes out in 3 days. War games, 45 new artifacts. Ultimate artifacts! Exclamation mark. New interstitial system. 3 interstitials encounter. 9 new challenges. Interesting. Updated tech tree for war games fleets. Okay, makes sense. There's a tech... Oh, yeah, you do have to upgrade. You gotta unlock the ships you want. That's true. That's real. That's very accurate. Skirmish. Hyperspace and hyperspace inhibitor abilities added to skirmish mode. That was a big advertised feature in the roadmap. Improved the pacing and flow between early game, mid game, and end game play in skirmish, with a focus on strategic decision making. In theory, that sounds great. In practice, I don't know how they did it. I'll have to investigate. Tactical missile abilities added to the Higaran mothership and the Incarnate Titan ship. Oh my goodness, you're giving me the nuke from the campaign? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Truly, this is the Capisi. I'll do it later, Capra. I'm fighting this guy who I forget who is... Yeah, this is deep down, yeah? It looks like deep down. The broad shoulders, it's deep down. I know, Capra, you're like the biggest proponent of networking and the grind and stuff, but I'm not built like that. Also, like, the public consensus of the universe is that Homeworld 3 is a bad game, so, like, it's gonna be really hard to find people who like the game as much as I do. I'm like its #1 fan. And even I have sort of been neglecting it because I've been too hooked on Armored Core and PlanetSide. Yep. Ah, you had another shield. That is the goal. I'm trying to make new fans of the game. It's a slow and arduous process because public opinion is very much swayed by, you know, the initial impressions. Hopefully they can make a No Man's Sky out of it, or like a Battlefront 2 out of it, where the launch was disappointing to a lot of people, but just the inherent quality of the game's improvement over time makes people come back. I never had any real problems with the game. It's not my favorite plot of a homeworld game. It's not my favorite campaign of a homeworld game. Both of those probably go to Homeworld 1 and Deserts, respectively. But I advocate for the game. I advocate for the game's ability to be enjoyed. I advocate for the game's continued relevance from updates and cool features and the War Games roguelike mode.
Main system activating combat mode.
And I want it to succeed. And I will do my part to make it succeed in between me just having a good time. I hesitate to actually put a lot of work into it because as much as I love strategy games in concept, I'm not very good at them in practice. Like, I'm great at Empire at War because I'm so used to it, and also because you can pause in that game. It's a single-player strategy game. Kind of unique in that sense. Whereas Homeworld, it is like competitive. It's large, so there's like grand strategic things you can choose to do. But it's also just very, very, very... Like, I get overwhelmed by all the stuff going on, and so I feel like I don't have as much control of the situation as would be comfortable for me. And that's part of the charm. You're in a strategic situation, so that's not like that's not a mark against the game, but it is a mark in favor of me pacing out my enjoyment. I do not want to be just constantly overwhelmed. Yeah, I would like an art. I would appreciate an art. I mean, if you're offering an art, I am not gonna say no to an art. Because your art is good. I like your art. I paid you to make an art because of how good your art was. You want to be my official art maker spontaneous? You want to use me as a subject for you grinding the art? You can do that.
Main system activating combat mode.
What do you plan on arting me about? Oh! Okay, Chartreuse is going to be a tricky one, but actually it's not going to be a tricky one at all, because the way to deal with Chartreuse is the thing I'm good at, which is dodging. If Chartreuse can't hit you, Chartreuse is not a threat. And every single attack of Chartreuse is pretty well telegraphed. It's hard for Chartreuse to, like, ambush you. Again, I tried the Joyous Guard knife them. I do not have the Joyous Guard knife. The one to watch out for is the earshot, because the earshot's, like, flash damage is considerable.
AP at 30%.
Okay, do not overextend. You might need to use the shield. Shield up. There we go. Target neutralized. Okay, let's, before I continue, let's scroll down on the Homeworld changelog for a second. There is more to read. Man, they were saying that the changelog was huge, and it is pretty large, but also there's an entire section that just says more, and they're not even putting it in the changelog. There's too much stuff, they didn't even put it all in. Let's see, campaign. Pacing changes. Added player-controlled mission end to more missions. Right, you get to press the hyperspace button.
Main system activating combat mode.
Don't worry, you'll figure it out. I believe you. Ooh, trying stabbing me? Can't stab me. Yeah, I think just like saturated fire Iguazu is the way to go for me. It's not the way to play Iguazu, but it's the way I play Iguazu. Yeah, you have so many pod points. You can do a lot with that. Mostly change excels to whatever you want. Yeah, you don't fear me. I don't fear you anymore, Asperism. That was awkwardly a little too close for me just standing there. That fire damage accrued over time. I could use some funny meme things. I've actually been tasked as homework from the VCS to make 2 posts on social media today. So I could use a thing to post on social media. Kind of difficult. I made a post yesterday. I just drew a maze in in Unicode.
Arena combat aptitude
Not
evaluation
ASCII.
program.
You don't get the box characters in ASCII. Not enough room for it. But I don't like just engagement farming. Like, I don't want to make a post just so that I can interact with people. I want my posts to be... I want them to have some, like, component of them that is actually, like, material. Like, the maze had a maze in it. That's fun. It's also funny. And I don't want to just, like, ask a question or call for participation in some funny chain thing just so that people can interact with it. I want it to be meaningful. Which is why I'm terrible at social media. I do not have the mindset for it. Michigan time.
Arena combat.
Main system activating combat mode.
Alright, Michigan, you trying to hit me with the Songbird opening? I'm falling for that one. It's time for Iguazu to get revenge for all those years of being in the military boot camp that is Michigan. I guess, but it's not really a strong reason. I think Iguazu is just a grumpy person. Kind of walked into those missiles there. Oh! There we go. Yeah, you are just sort of going slowly insane over the grind, and I have watched you slowly descend into madness there.
Final arena combat aptitude.
Alright, time to fight Freud, and then we fight the integration program. For how much Freud is sort of like theoretically like the strongest, most powerful pilot in the Armored Corps general vibe zone, very little ado is made about Freud. He's just sort of spoken about as like the best Vesper and like technically in charge, but he doesn't really show up to do anything. He's just sort of there. Like, he does eventually show up, and you do eventually fight him, and he is an opponent to fight, but... like, he's not this, like, force of intimidation, like, the best of the best ever seen before, that, like, one might expect of someone of his, like, character and caliber. He's just sort of there. If anything, Rusty is more... got, like, the prestige of being the guy. But then also, Rusty, I think, is also separately hiding his true strength.
Integration program.
Main system.
He's like a
activating
White
combat
Flint
mode.
reference or something. Yeah, we don't really have like an equivalent legend in AC6. Just a bunch of people. It's almost like Rubicon being a recent like conquest or approach by corporations. I mean, that's just not really like a preceding history of great expectations on these pilots from Balaam and Artemis that have just been sort of imported in. That was a good shield on my part. Very, very smart, very well executed. That's Mind Alpha. We're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. So I'm going to skip Trainer and Tester and go to Mind Beta. And then we'll keep going until we get closer to the ad break. And then I'll do that.
Integration program.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
How come you get a knife? I want a knife. You missed. Right before you shielded up. That felt good. That's a good bit of I denied them that power. Okay. Let's beta. Let's do let's leave the corporations. Let's just do Mind Gamma immediately. Might as well.
Integration program.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
Gun. Nope, I kick you! Clever, clever. As expected from Mind Gamma. Yeah, you can kind of see the resemblance between Mind Gamma and Iguad. Oh, a nice fit. There we are. Clean. Final random bullet for good measure. Okay, well that's Mind Gamma down. It's just the interim ones. Let's do Corporation and Rubiconian now.
Integration program.
I need to hear this all mine. We have an arena to fight. Every AC versus every AC. Headbringer's gotta take home the glory. And then the next one. Of course you would shield up Corporation, scum. You're too afraid of facing the truth. And the truth is that you're scared of me. My power! My bullets! You're like, oh no, the bullets, they make me hurt. Please do not shoot me with them, but I shoot you with them.
At 30%.
Oh wait, hold on. I lost. That was not part of the script. Okay, so randomly losing a corporation. I guess this means I need to start using the shield.
Main system activating.
Fair
combat
enough.
mode.
Fair enough. Kick. Maybe. Okay, seek opportunities to use the left gun, but for the most part, just keep the shield up. Like, that's a good opportunity to use the gun. Haha! Blocked it! Oh, careful. Stagger's pretty high. Disengage. Try and lower that a bit. I have missiles, so I can engage them. Range. Ow! There we go. There we go. Corporation destroyed. Honor redeemed. We are good. The honor. The redemption. Okay, moving on. We have... Let's see, I went out of order here. Corporation's done. Rubiconian's next. Then... Assuming we get into the ad break zone. I mean, it's close enough. I'll do the tester and trainer fights then. And I hope you'll trust that I just sort of won them. Casually and without any
Main
complication.
system activating combat mode.
I don't think I've gotten like the perfectly optimal big wazoo combo yet. Like there's probably a very specific series of like weapon fire and kick and stuff that maximizes the amount of punish I deal out upon stagger. But I don't think I've successfully executed on that. No worries though.
Target destroyed. The data will be integrated into Mind Beta. Thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome.
Integration program, Alpha 2.
Main system activating combat mode.
Integration Program, Phase 1. Final analysis.
Main system activating combat mode.
Target destroyed.
Hold on for a second. Okay, I think we're good. I mean, we're not, but I think we're better than we were before. There is some external interference going on. I am not for it. But I think the worst is gone, and hopefully that will not cause any additional problems. Anyway, we did that. On to Institute. I try and keep my streams in as pristine a condition as possible. Minimizing all possible external interference entirely.
Main system
And I would say that today is the first big moment where I did not succeed. Which makes me a little bit embarrassed. I had a good run though. You can't expect absolute perfection. This is live. The entire inherent point of this is that you don't know what's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet. You're like ensuring, you're exploiting the power of the difficulty to predict non-deterministic nature of chaotic systems. Well, no, they're deterministic, but they're not predictable easily. Like, they're not reducible in any way to make a simpler problem. If you want to, like, simulate the future path of physics and stuff to happen, you basically just need to simulate physics. And it's kind of difficult, not very easy, I would argue, to simulate physics faster than physics can simulate physics. Could be done, though. And if it is done, I would like to do it, because I would like to observe the future and be like, hey, is there a rock flying at my face? Nope. I'm dodging because I knew it was happening. That'd be nice. No, nothing fell down. It's just there was interference. Someone dropped an EMP. No one dropped an EMP. I would be in a much worse situation if somebody dropped an EMP, given my physiological makeup. No, it was just there was like sound coming from elsewhere. I couldn't stop it, but I could wait for it to be done, and part of the ad break was to exploit that. I was looking at my audio inputs for stuff, and I was like, oh no, there's like sound, even though there shouldn't be sound. And I'm very insecure about that kind of stuff. It stopped me from streaming many times in the past, just preempting it. Only this time I didn't preempt it and it happened anyway. But it's okay. What's important is that we can proceed, and people will forgive me because they are kind. They don't have to forgive me, but I suspect a good number of people will forgive me, and those who won't forgive me probably aren't actually very mad about it. They're just like, okay, I guess this streamer is kind of bad at their job, and will leave. Which I can't blame them. It's bound to happen. They come watch the stream at a maybe worse than average stream quality than I usually output, and that's on me. If you care, and you're allowed to care. Uh-oh. Why does chat like background sounds? Okay. All things considered, despite the interferences, the actual event happening is going quite well. We are about to complete Iguazu's run through, or at least Headbringer, not Iguazu proper, through the entire arena.
Main system activating combat mode.
And you know, Headbringer as an AC. Very well rounded. It's fast, but it's got like defensive options in the shield. It's got rapid fire, burst fire, it's got missiles. It's a jack of all trades, master of none, but it doesn't need to be. It's well-rounded, immune to some gimmicks due to its well-rounded nature. And it doesn't take much to just sort of deal out the damage with it. It's got some flexibility, which I am not really capitalizing on. And I'm just sort of winning. Dude, okay. Next up, final one. It's Echo. Well, the Echo preset. It's not named in the arena, but it's the Echo preset.
Activating combat mode.
Oh, it is named in the arena. It is the Echo. Cool. Though I'm pretty sure Air just names it, like, spontaneously. Like it was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Which, I mean, you're respectful. Echo is a good name. I appreciate it. I just think maybe you would have liked to spend a little bit more time. Not to say that you made a bad decision, it's just you made a very quick decision, and I'm just not sure if you, like, maybe had some other ideas you could have invented. I'm not saying it's a bad name. I'm not saying you should change it. I just question your general tendency toward hasty decisions. Alrighty. Gone. Yeah, but that's like a person. You can say hello to a person. It's like having a special guest accidentally. It's like, welcome to the Capro Fawn stream with special guest Capra's mom. It's like a cryptid. Okay, but that is Headbringer done. I'm gonna check Headbringer entirely off the list. Every single arena fight as Headbringer complete. That brings us up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fully completed. According to my records, we do need to finish off Infection, UAU, Burn Pickaxe, and Mad Stomp from the numerical order, but that's for later. Right now, I vote we go on to Shinobi. Let's get Shinobi. Shinobi is exciting because it's a very, very distinct style of AC. Like, it feels so different from those around it. Shotgun, the whip, weapon mount for a Ransetsu of some kind, and the Javelin line missile. It's very different. It's like an entirely different style of bipedal AC, and I'm excited to sort of feel how it drives. But as we're back in the early stages of the arena, I am going to go back to the Homeworld 3 patch notes. Coming soon in 3 days. We are now in the paid DLC highlights area with the new War Games fleets.
Activating combat mode.
All right, let's take a look here. We have a shotgun, so we definitely want to be in close range. We have the whip. What kind of Ransetsu is this? Okay, so it's the you hold it down and it fires a burst. It doesn't float up charge. Okay, fine. It gives us a decent long range option, and then when we get close, we can just sort of whip it. Hit that, do that, shotgun, we good. Okay, so the two major War Games factions they're adding with this DLC are two pretty highly anticipated ones, I would say. We have, first off, the Samta, Kith Samta fleet. Two new fleets, two brand new units.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program, number 28.
Oh, it looks like they
F.
both have two fleets to them, which is exciting. So, two new fleets for the two new fleets in War Games of Samta, two brand new units. The Acolyte, a versatile heavy fighter that packs a punch. Excited to see what that's about. And the Storm Frigate, a short-range heavy frigate with disabling attacks. I am reading the patch notes and barely paying attention to the fight. 30 new artifacts, of course, designed for the fleet itself. 10 new challenges and a new emblem. Doesn't appear to be the regular Samta emblem. It's a little spikier than the default Samta emblem. You will have to forgive my imprecise combat because I am not actually watching Armored Core 6 as I'm fighting. I am mostly playing by ear as I just sort of shoot. And then the Taidan fleets, two new fleets, 11 new units. Well, 11 new to Homeworld 3. I'm assuming they're going to be classic Taidan units from the older Homeworld games. 52 new artifacts, 10 new challenges, and a new emblem, of course. I think the Taidan emblem is already accounted for in the emblem collection. So this might be a variant Taidan emblem to be a bit more accurate to the Taidan Empire. And then we get on to a bunch of fixes and gameplay stuff, but I can't scroll down on the list until I'm done here, so I will fight Hermit. Oof. How in the world did I miss that first whip shot? That's what I get for not paying attention to the fights as I read something else. Oh my goodness, the fix list is huge. Okay, I'm gonna... nope. First off, I'm gonna go into the next fight, which is against Bitter Promise. There's all... Okay, so the reinforced update is apparently spoken of in the... Oh, okay. I'm reading the devlog to sort of cross-reference to the patch notes. They've added a... The reinforce ability is a targeted ship ability, allowing you to seamlessly integrate new ships into existing formations. When instructing a unit to reinforce another ship, that unit will adopt the assigned formation stance and current target of the ship being reinforced. You'll still need to manually add units to control groups, since that is a separate layer of controlling and organizing. Okay, so the reinforcement is a command that you give to a ship to help integrate it into a pre-existing formation of ships that you own. Which is interesting. That is very helpful as you're like fighting and ships are getting shot and destroyed and shoved. You can now sort of reintegrate ships into formations and the tactical program without having to like manually reset everything. So that's just a nice quality of life feature. Anyway, we beat Bitter Promise. Meanwhile, that's the new reinforce ability that they spoke of earlier in the change log. Next up, Bandbox attack orders have been reworked. Bandbox attacks now more intelligently divide their attacks amongst the available targets in response to community feedback. This will result in smaller formations upon initiation and completion of the Bandbox attack command. More information in the devlog, but that seems pretty straightforward, I think. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. But it seems like now when you bandbox to attack a group of enemy units, your units will sort of distribute themselves more evenly to attack them all at once. Okay, I need to definitely pay more attention, because now that I am playing a Shinobi and not Headbringer, I have a very, very powerful, usable punish option to a staggered enemy, and it is the whip.
AP at 30%.
So I gotta do that more. Let's see here. Further improvements to the moving while attacking units losing their move command issue, in particular when the formation leader was destroyed. Okay, so now when the formation leader is destroyed, they won't panic and just stop moving. Good. Fix units that were given move while attacking from overriding their secondary move destination when they re-engage enemies if their initial target was destroyed. Retaliation range pass in all factions. Fixed. Many units whose retaliation range, used for acquiring targets in aggressive and neutral stances, were significantly lower than their weapon range, e.g. the Higaran Torpedo Frigate. These units should now meet player expectations more frequently in terms of when and how they pick new targets and engage enemies. Changed attack priorities on some units to prioritize attacks on resource controllers and collectors more often. That's good, so if you're doing some, like, anti-logistics activities. How did I miss that first strike? There we go. Single capture corvettes can now capture enemy ships on their own without needing a second capture corvette to help out, though a second one will expedite the process. That's nice. This is awkward because I'm playing Armored Core 6, but I'm reading the Homeworld 3 patch notes for a patch that isn't even out yet, mostly because I need something to talk about because these fights are getting tedious and boring and easy because I'm in freaking Shinobi. Like, I don't even have to watch the fights to a certain extent. I did there, though. You know, just for full disclosure. Newly built ships now adopt the stance of the ship that produced them. Ah, that seems sane and reasonable. Though I can imagine if you were making a new ship from a mothership and you don't want it to engage enemies all that much, you maybe don't want to. But it might be actually very useful if you're using a battle carrier and you're attacking with it and you want to make sure that the attack is happening. The attack is real, the war is true. Incarnate resource controllers can now successfully salvage or retire to the Titan ship. Okay. Rally no longer utilizes an offset parade formation for the rally destination. Units will now rally directly to the rally location and group up Titan. Okay, so I think that's like... They've added the Mutilist Ball, and I'm going to speak in terms of StarCraft 2, because this is how I'm comprehending it. They will... Previously, they would try and move in formation to the location, and then, like, each individual unit would be in the formation at their location. But now, when you rally, they will try to actually go to the exact point you rally every single ship, and clump up really closely, I think. Which might be good, because maybe it'll stop them from going places they don't want to be. Reworked the burst fire ability, swarm fighters and railgun corvettes, to trigger more consistently at all ranges. That's good. Okay, that was Li Long. Time for Candle Ring. I really need to focus and pay attention because I'm not remembering what enemy I'm on. Increased targeted special weapon abilities, reliability when targeting enemies behind terrain.
Main system.
That's good.
Activating combat mode.
Increased targeted special weapon abilities, reliability when target. Oh, I already read that one. Fixed lifetime of mines from the Kalen Raiders Mine Layer Corvette. I guess that's good. Fixed a bug that would sometimes cause units to interrupt their firing cycle. Fixed an issue where a group of ships set to none formation would change to mixed after giving them a move order. Fixed an issue where a small group of ships selected from a larger formation could lose their formation when given an attack order. Can you tell I'm not even looking at the screen at all up until the point where I started this sentence? Oh, you know what? I kind of am interested to figure out how many opponents in the arena I can beat with Tidewater without looking at the screen at all. Just pure audio input. I feel like that would require some research just to make sure I can do it well, but I think I could get a few done. Simple ones that I can brute force, like Mad Stomp, yeah. Chartreuse might actually be simple because I can just listen for the weep weeps.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program.
Fixed an issue causing torpedo frigates to sometimes turn backwards during and after attacking a target. Fixed an issue causing assault frigates' weapons to stop tracking opponents when a move order was given mid-firing cycle. Fixed a rare issue causing ships to forget orders if part of the control group was coming. I think that was the last one I read. And I'm out, so I can now watch the screen. I can watch the game, I can see what is going on, and what's going on is I'm fighting reconfig. Get plasma.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Fix an issue causing the main engine maximum speed stat value for all ships in the Companion to be different than in the HUD. Fix an issue causing the queued research costs to not be counted on the projected resource counter in the HUD. Fix an issue causing the heavy suppression for its bottom weapon to sometimes shoot through the ship itself. That seems like an asset, personally. Iguazu time. Fix an issue causing torpedo frigates to continue to act aggressively and fail to guard ships after changing their stance from neutral to aggressive and then back to neutral. Fix an issue causing capital ships to become unresponsive to move commands after finding a target using an attack move command. Fix an issue causing attack orders to be cancelled when setting a ship's formation to none. Fix an issue causing the Higaran mothership to not move into range when using the fusion missile ability on an out-of-range enemy unit. Fixed an issue causing the Incarnate Destroyer weapon-changing VFX playing on a loop when its target was out of range. Fixed an issue causing unit selection through tactical icons to stop functioning after the deploying turret. Fixed several occurrences of ships being able to shoot through terrain. Fixed an issue preventing research to be viewed or canceled during tactical pause. Fixed an issue causing the camera to sometimes get stuck inside terrain when the camera collision option was enabled. Fixed an issue causing ships positioned directly underneath the Higaran mothership to not receive any damage from its point defense cannon. Fixed an issue causing certain strike craft to not show height lines in the movement plane when ellipse, the thing that scales ships based on distance, was disabled. Fixed an issue causing the F1 shortcut, select a flagship, to focus on the mothership instead of just selecting it when a group including the mothership was selected. I did not look at the game at all through that fight. I kind of like peripherally acknowledged what was happening. Like, I could see colors vaguely, but that was like basically all blind almost. I'm curious now. I kind of want to see how far I can get with that. Let's do the mirror matchup first. In fact, I'm wondering what would be a better AC to do that strategy with. Tidewater is... Because with Tidewater, I would have to, like, remember the timing of, like, when I reload and stuff. Maybe I should use Joyous Guard instead. I'm not reading right now. Tricked you. Couldn't get me. I had a shotgun. Okay, so that's all of the changes in the fixes category. Well, like gameplay bug fix kind of stuff. But then there is a massive collection of ship by ship organized, like, buffs and nerfs and stuff. And we have a message. Most of these balancing changes were made in collaboration with a small group of dedicated community playtesters through daily feedback and iterations! Redesigned armor mitigation versus weapon families across the game. Light armor 10% mitigation, medium armor 20%, heavy armor 30%, mothership armor 50%. Updated UI on unit info panel, weapons and armor info, to show relationships, reworked armor penetration to work with the new armor system. And then they go down to every single ship and how it was changed. I do not know what the highlights are because I've never read this before because it only came out like an hour ago. Who am I fighting next? What did I just do? I just did the Shinobi fight. Okay, let's Volta. We're Voltan. Just glossing over the strikecraft category. Fighters versus frigates and other heavier ships. they reduce the distance that fighters run away and turn back to attack. So the coming around for another strike distance is shorter. That means that they will probably attack more often, but also probably means they are more vulnerable to attack. But maybe that doesn't matter because they're attacking more often. Okay, I think it's important that I successfully use the Javelin to good effect against Volta. Because I need to get this chump staggered, and I'm actually going to focus on this fight. Because Volta, you can't really ignore Volta. The whip. Get the whip. You know, now that I am thinking about it, there are a lot of audio cues in this game. And the nature of the hard lock targeting system means you don't need to fully focus on, like, the visuals of where your opponent is, aside from things like cover. So I don't think it's, like, once you understand the sound of everything, you can kind of predict, you can kind of understand the situation. I think you don't need as much visual input as you just need to understand. Alright, as a test, this fight I'm gonna do completely not seeing the scene. No peripheral, no nothing. I'm just gonna not look.
Activating combat mode.
I did it. I did it. I did it. I mean, you have no way of validating that I successfully indeed did that, but I did it, and I'm proud of myself. There was a part there where I thought I staggered them, and I'm pretty sure that after I whipped them, I heard the noise of staggering them. And then, like, it just worked. It just worked. I mean, someone without looking. It was Bader. I don't even remember who it was.
Main system activating combat mode.
Alright, I'm looking for this one, in case you were wondering. How did that miss? I'm getting too ambitious with the whip. I'm trying to whip them to stagger them instead of whipping them after staggering them. There we go. Alright, so that's the strike craft. Corvettes, all Corvettes are now faster. Frigates, accuracy pass in all frigates. Especially in the fighting smaller ships category. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Capital ships, accuracy pass on their effectiveness versus smaller things. Battle cruisers and destroyers improve their effectiveness against heavier ships. Carrier research now unlocked by Corvette tech. A lot of things about individual carrier stuff. Platforms decreased health of all turrets. Incarnate anti-capital turret, higher torpedo damage increased. Resource controller population cap has gone from 8 to 6 in skirmish. Resource controller production cost in skirmish and campaign for both factions has been increased. And resource controller production time in skirmish has increased. So they're no longer as free. I vaulted, I dual natured, I entangled, now with chatty stick. I do not think I can beat chatty easily blindfolded because of how fast and long range they are. So I will not try.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program. Number...
Main system activating combat mode.
Oof. Delivery boy's on the way. Get out of there. Got him. Just confirm. Yes, I am the one who survived. In case you wanted a little bit further evidence. Tsubasa. Okay, now we go on to the multiplayer section of the patch notes.
13, rank C.
The immediate first thing on the list is that they've unlocked 30 new emblems, so 30 new emblems that exist, I guess. That's a lot. Not gonna push it with another swing of the whip. Unfortunately, it didn't matter. I'm getting annihilated anyway. Oh, that was well done. That was well done. Good job, Javelin Missile. Okay, let's see here. Higar Mothership and Incarnate Titan ship, the Mothership, now both have access to the fusion missile ability. Okay, that's a redundancy. I've already read that one. But, you know, much like the Higaran Mothership. Well, no, not the Higaran Mothership. The Capisi Carrier. In the good old deserts. You can now nuke. Hyperspace research abilities added to all frigate class and larger ships, including resource controllers in skirmish for both factions in response to community feedback. Hyperspace inhibitor research and abilities added to Higaran and Incarnate carriers. The Higaran support frigate and the Incarnate disruption frigate in skirmish mode. Resource tuning in skirmish and war games in response to community feedback, so that's a balanced patch. Oh, let me just beat Baron Flower here. Kind of my current objective. There we go. New skirmish tech tree, full rework for both Higaran and Incarnate factions. Replaced the 3 tiers of Incarnate Strikecraft hull integrity research with 3 tiers of Corvette hull integrity research. Significantly increased the difficulty of standard and hard AI opponents in skirmish in response to feedback. War games tech tree balancing in response to community feedback. More ship abilities now require research. Restructured platform fleet tech tree. Restructured Raider fleet tech tree, restructured remastered fleet tech tree, which is understandable because the remastered fleet tech tree is pretty similar to the others. And that if you change one, you probably want to change that one to match. Carla time! I apologize that this entire stream has just been me talking about the Homeworld 3 patch notes that got released partway through the stream, and also noise interference.
Main system activating combat mode.
Not one of my better streams in terms of audio provision. both in the sense of audio purity and also my choice of what to say. But that said, does me apologizing about it make it seem more perceptibly like a problem than it would have otherwise? Like, were you okay with it? And are you less okay with it now that I'm more vocally not okay with it? Wait, why am I being the prettiest princess, Capra? What are you doing? You know what? I'm gonna let the master at work. You cook. I'll let you. Proceed, chef. How come nobody ever says that they're chefing? Because when I think of a cook, I think of like a line cook. I think of like somebody who's just gotten orders like, "Hey, we need more fries," and they make more fries. I envision like a chef as like the artisan creating stuff, but chef isn't a verb, but cook is a verb. This seems like an interesting discrepancy in my mind. Maybe it's because a chef is more of a designer, like they're designing a meal, they're preparing it. They're a preparer, they're preparing. I'll let you prepare.
Evaluation program.
Main system.
Then again, I guess that's what cooking means in a contemporary sense. Like, let them cook, let them prepare, let them build up to what they're doing. Interestingly enough, I guess cook and chef are synonyms now, in verb sense, even though nobody uses chef as a term yet. Can I fire a missile while I'm with meleeing? I want to test that. No. It's no. It's not a priority that I can, I just wanted to know if that was like additional tech I wasn't using that I could use. But it's not. I've not missed out on anything. Let's see here. Any other things here? Skirmish tech tree. Skirmish lobby map resource multiplier setting default changed from 150% to 300%. So there's a lot more resources in the skirmish maps now by default. Increased TR and starting fleet combat units in skirmish. Increased incarnate starting fleet combat units in skirmish. Okay, so in skirmish you have more units to start with. Camera bounds on the deep space skirmish map. Increased camera bounds on the deep space skirmish map in response to community feedback. Okay, so you can move further away on that map. Probably because you want a really good view of everything. Again, I'm missing the first hit of that.
AP at 50%.
There we go. Rusty down. Very good, very good. Soon we will have defeated everyone as Shinobi and can move on to more fights. Alright, back to the... Okay. Increased vertical bounds of the Naraka skirmish map. Increase the carrier assault pattern initial damage increase from 50% to 200%.
Activating combat mode.
User can now change their fleet customization in Quick Match. Added a notification in the gameplay event list when a player leaves multiplayer match in... There's no other word in that sentence, but I assume they meant like a match in progress. Good hit on Milktooth. Yeah, I'm not particularly afraid of the fires here. They're intimidating because they're huge, but they're not actually that deadly. And I have a whip. Let's see here. Pressing escape will now close the artifact choice window in War Games. Oh, that's particularly useful. Thank you for that one. This is deep down, this is deep down. Players will now see a notification informing them whether a lobby they are about to join is hosted by someone with mismatching mods, as joining a multiplayer match will likely result in a desync if all players in the match don't have the same mods installed. AI bots are now visible in the pause menu in addition to human players during skirmish. Full stats will be shown to allied AI players while stats stay hidden for enemy AI players. Makes sense to me. What FCS does Shinobi use? Because it leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. You are durable. What the heck? Maybe it's because I keep jumping right before I whip.
AP at 30%.
There we go. Got him. Deep down seems to be very anti-bullet technology. They're just bulky and they just sit there and take it and they win. Almost. I did get him. Okay, next up. Fixed unit death explosions, sometimes throwing salvage objectives out of the map in war games.
Arena combat aptitude.
That's a funny one. Fixed an issue causing captured ships to sometimes receive commands not issued by the player during war games. Fixed the Titan ship unit info plano not showing any weapons. Uh-oh. Aha, you missed me! Yeah, chump. That is like ideal whip scenario. Easily dealt with. Fixed an issue, sometimes causing objective markers in wargames to detach from their intended location and move around the map. That's funny. Fixed an issue causing turrets to be stacked on top of each other in the Buran map when the captured data spire held by hostile forces objective was active. Fixed an issue causing turrets to be located inside. Okay. Fixed an issue causing allied bots in skirmish to be on the same team as the player to build ships and send them to idle in places far from any battle or enemy ship. I mean, that's a classic allied warfare experience, especially in video game like Advanced War. They just go off to exist somewhere. Although I think it's important to mention I'm currently fighting Chartreuse.
50%.
It's just what's happening. You've got to be kidding me.
30%.
I take no responsibility for that loss. That was Shinobi not knowing how to operate a whip correctly. That's not on me.
Activating combat mode.
The whip is so deadly until you're the one using it. And then it's just they don't let you have the power. They don't let you be unstoppable. But also I should focus more on fighting Chartreuse because it's Chartreuse. Chartreuse is a reasonable threat. I'll do one and then leave. Much better. Almost. You did not get to escape. There we go. I'm kind of skimming through the bullet points now. It's hard to say which ones would be interesting to speak of and which ones wouldn't. So it's mostly just going to be luck. And that's fine. Fix an issue causing skirmish AI players customization to automatically change to being identical to the players after changing their fleet selection.
Main system activating combat mode.
Fix an issue causing some wargame objectives to be impossible to complete if the player carrier was on top of the objective at the moment it spawned. Press Dave found that kind of problem. Sometimes looking at the patch notes, it's surprising what problems actually get discovered. Like the amount of circumstances that need to go right/wrong to learn that problem is probably a lot. Mayan down. Fix an issue causing the railgun transport ships to appear under the capital section of the population menu in wargames. Awkward problem to be having. Fix an issue causing the movement disk to reveal enemy AI height lines outside of the fog of war during skirmish. That's an awkward problem.
Main system activating combat mode.
Gun. Missile. Gun.
AP at 50%.
Uh-oh. Starting to be concerned. I may need to bubble. I'm bubbling. Did it by bubbling. Okay, so campaign added player-controlled mission end to 5 additional missions. Mission 2, Mission 3, Mission 5, Mission Mine, and Mission 12. Mission Mine, Mission Mine. Mission 9. There we go. That's how you pronounce that word. Tweaked campaign difficulty, making hard difficulty more challenging and making the mission-to-mission difficulty more consistent. Optimize the mothership's VFX during Calo Terminus so as to stop causing significant FPS rate drops while looking at it. Hey, Michigan. Good to see you. You know, I think I'm under the opinion that maybe Shinobi should swap main weapons. Like, put the Ransetsu and the shotgun on alternating hands, because when I want to finish off an enemy, like to just do that little bit of stagger, prepare the whip ahead of time, I kind of like having the Ransetsu because it fires more frequently. I should have bubbled. I got complacent.
Main system activating combat mode.
Let's start back a little bit. Forgot to swap to the Ransets. know, I'll bubble. Oh, that was close. Yeesh. Michigan respectable. Time for Freud. Fixed an issue causing strike craft and corvettes to ignore the enemy tactical missile shot at the mothership during Noctua 27. Cool.
Main system activating combat mode.
And now we get the tech performance improvements. Not a very long category. Which is a good thing for me. And you. Actually, I don't know if I should be promoting a culture of trying to convince you that this stuff is not interesting. I am interested by it. I am enjoying reading these. Well executed. And that is regular arena. Let's go to analysis. Integration program, Mind Alpha. Tech performance improvements. Topical.
Integration program.
Tactical overlay amalgamations have been greatly optimized and should result in better performance. Pipelines, when using the movement plane, have been optimized. You know, Shinobi and Mind Alpha are pretty similar in terms of playstyle. They got the whip, they just want to do damage over time. Big difference is that Mind Alpha has a bazooka. Congratulations on being halfway done with your shenanigan. Beam weapon VFXs have been optimized. Added setting to allow constraining in-game UI to 16:9 centered. Affects base HUD panel, pause menu, campaign, failed menu, and multiplayer endgame results. Menu backgrounds continue to occupy the full screen width regardless of whether the option is enabled. Only content is constrained. Could have whipped. Yep. Countered. Games that contain blocked users will no longer be visible / joinable. Fixed an issue causing the shadow quality to be abnormally high if the player had selected low graphic settings. This will greatly improve performance in low graphic settings. Fixed an issue causing FPS drops when power regulators are destroyed in Noctua 27. Fixed the Enable Sensors Manager's zoom in-out collision camera option not working when modern camera controls were turned off. Okay, that's all the mines. Now we can do like Institute and Rubiconian and stuff. Fixed an issue causing camera movements to sometimes cause small FPS drops when Lips was turned off. Good to know. Art updates. They added updates. They updated the art. Improvements to the damage system visuals. Healing support added for dynamic damage. Added heat edge ring to the energy and missile impact for dynamic damage. Changed impact composite. Compost. That does say composting. Do they mean compositing? I missed the whip. There we go, I fixed the whip. So, okay, that word changed impact composting system to avoid overridden visuals on dynamic damage. I assume they mean compositing. There's no I between the S and T in the word I am reading currently, but I think there should be. Aligned visuals look between dynamic and procedural damage. Aligned visuals look. Congratulations. Oh, they aligned the look of the visuals. Gotcha. I figured out how to parse that sentence. Okay, I know the pre-rolls have restarted. I just saw that alert. I'm going to beat Rubiconian. Actually, no, I'll just start it now. No, Rubiconian is not a free win. Actually, it might be. But I'm still going to wait. There will be awkward pre-roll ads for about 1 minute. My apologies.
Integration program.
I'll try and start them immediately after the result of this battle is concluded, so that you don't miss anything in terms of your secret illegal betting ring that you have on the results of my fights that I don't know about. Alright, results concluded. We move. Let's see here. Reduced brightness of strike-craft engine trails. Fixed many cases of weapons could simultaneously shoot through the ship's hull. Numerous minor level of detail improvements on ships. Fixed an issue causing the Incarnate ship and Higaran mothership to not display the proper amount of dynamic damage on their hull. That will make it look much cooler. Fixed an issue causing dynamic damage on frigates and capital ships to not properly be displayed from torpedo frigate missile damage. Fixed an issue causing suppression frigates to not receive dynamic damage on the side from all weapon types other than small ballistic weapons. Fixed an issue causing the Higaran battlecruiser's size to not display dynamic damage from non-ballistic weapons. Fixed an issue causing part or all of newly built ships to appear with the wrong texture or be invisible if produced while in the sensors manager. That's funny. Pretty funny. Fixed a small gap in the Higaran torpedo frigate's model. Fixed the Dervish ion frigate's thruster VFX being offset from the hull. Fixed the railgun and Avenger corvette's plasma beam VFX not making contact when attacking enemy ships. Fixed an issue causing the pursuit fighter's overburner ability VFX to appear on the body of the ship rather than its engines.
Main system.
Then there are settings updates. New display selection reticle overlay option. New constrained HUD aspect ratio option. Spoken of earlier in the list, I remember. New input binding hyperspace unit ability hotkey. Default J in modern experience preset. New input binding hyperspace inhibitor unit ability. Default is Control I in the modern experience preset. New input binding reinforce. Unit ability default X in the modern experience preset. Fix an issue causing the 5120 by 1440 resolution to not be selectable. Absolutely groundbreaking for Quint specifically, I think. I remember Quint having like a super widescreen monitor that occasionally existed. Two, one. Hey, welcome back from the ad break. We just beat Trainer and Tester. I was barely paying attention, but I know I won. On to Institute. Audio updates existed. Added audio feedback when clearing a control group. Fixed audio not being properly distorted while in Sensors Manager in an inclusion view. Corrected main menu UI interaction sound effect. Ha! You missed. Gun. Oh, that almost obliterated you instantly. There we go, much better. Now I'm gonna shield up and just wait for you to become obliterated. Gone. Fix the wrong VO playing when swarm fighters are built. Updated for the production complete under fire and destroy VOs for pursuit fighters. Fix the production complete under fire and destroy VO for smart missile frigates not playing correctly in war games. Fix the unit response VOs being attached to the sound effects volume slider rather than the speech volume slider. Makes sense. Well, that's Nightfall casually destroyed. Fixed an issue causing ship-captured VO to be played when an enemy was salvaging debris from a player's destroyed ship. That, as far as a problem to have, makes complete sense to me in a roundabout way. Like, you have the tag that's like a ship or a legacy descendant of a ship of yours, and I guess salvage and capture are pretty similar mechanically. I can understand how that might accidentally be a thing. Stop shooting me!
At 30%.
Well, this is a wash. Yeah, and with the terminal in reserve, I did not have any hope there after a while.
Main system activating combat mode.
Forgot the hard lock.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Okay, run. Run, run, run. I just need one good hit. There we go. Got it. I'm running out of settings. Moved enable sensors manager zoom in out collision settings into camera tuning / modern settings category to clarify that they do not have any effect on classic camera controls by design. No. Oh, that was close. It wasn't close for any, like, respectable reason, but it was still close. Using backspace to hide the HUD/UI now also properly hides the contested capturing and decapturing UI elements. Thank you very much, as I, a person who likes taking pictures, appreciates it when my pictures are more real. Fixed an issue causing the cursor to sometimes stay hidden after a cinematic or after closing the artifact selector in war games. Oh. No, you don't. No, you don't. Oh, another bad whip.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
I didn't expect that to hit me. I selected quit instead of retry, didn't I? I got beaten out of the entire match. I mean, that's what losing is, but also menu-wise.
Main system activating combat mode.
That's a good plan. Well executed. Out of here. Fixed an issue causing the sensors manager to incorrectly function while viewing a replay in free camera mode. Fixed the Grand Armada achievement not progressing on the Epic Game Store. A new version of the editor has been deployed on the Epic Game Store. In order to avoid compatibility issues, we highly recommend fully uninstalling the previous version of the editor. Updated the way mods were detected when displaying them in the lobby view. Correctly detects map mods, other mods, and even side-loaded mods. Great. Also, we beat Shinobi. We've beaten everyone as Shinobi. I'm going to check that off the list. Shinobi, every fight, done. Excellent. Next up is Volta, which is going to be awkward and weird, in my personal opinion. So what say you? We try that out for a little bit. What exactly is that in reference to? I forget what I said. Awkward. Acting everyone's a little awkward and weird. That's the joy of not being like a rectangle. So, Volta's whole thing is that they are a tank, and they are like the only tank canonically existing in Armored Core's thick, like, world of people. Now, the playstyle of a tank is, I would say the skill floor is pretty high, insofar as, if you're using a tank, you will have a certain level of success with that tank innately, because of a giant bulky piece of unstoppable momentum. Now, the moment any enemy tries to snuff you out and stop you from being able to hit them, you start to not win anymore. And that's when you need to start implementing the advanced tank strats, like momentum kicking and like stalling by shooting guns in midair so that you fall slower. Like there's a bunch of
Arena
advanced
combat.
strategies for tanks.
Main system.
If you
activating
want
combat
to
mode.
like see a professional tank user in action, I would recommend Lubaloo as someone who knows how to use a tank good. Lubaloo is the poster of the Rubicon Fight Club, which I like to fight in. Though it's sort of undergoing renovations at the current time, so I can't like increase my rank. Which you may be wondering why I haven't been doing that. The reason is because they're building a new like Discord bot to make it automatic and easy and integrated and stuff. So we're all waiting for that to be done. But Lubaloo is a fantastic tank user. In fact, I think tank is the only thing Lubaloo ever uses. Well, tank or boat, which is kind of like a hover tank. But the point is, professional tank user, tank main. Able to use basically every single weapon combination on a tank to reasonable effectiveness. You've got missile tank, you've got shotgun tank, you've got bazooka tank. Lubaloo does it all.
Arena combat.
Main system. Activating combat
And we're
mode.
basically even matched in terms of skill and power. Case in point, that one time we got into a duel with each other, trading wins back and forth for an hour. I forget which episode of the stream it was. Like, I can't tell you what numbered VOD on the YouTube archive playlist it is, but it's the one with the picture of Tidewater with the majestic barrel stuffed into the pointed star. So if you want to watch that, that's when it happened. Yeah, this is the problem. If you have an opponent that can, like, walk backwards, they become suddenly a lot more annoying to hit. Not impossible, though. I restarted the fight instead of leaving. Again.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
The tank legs are also very... They're not as versatile because, one, they're kind of stuck on the ground. But also, when you pick a tank leg, you lose the ability to pick what booster you have. The tank legs all come with a pre-built-in booster. You cannot modify it. This makes sense because a lot of booster stats imply the ability to, like, fly at all. So tanks just get their own, separate to the entire industry.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
But it also means that there's, like, one entire dimension of customizability you don't have anymore. It's fine, though. Tanks are pretty committal anyway. Not used to having the shotgun in my left hand this time. But yeah, you as a tank can take a whole lot of punishment and just keep going. Let's see here. Added the ability to inject custom blueprints in mods. Stability fixes to greatly reduce the RHI crashes seen in earlier versions of the editor. Fixed several missing unit materials, making ship creation easier. Added BBI's blueprint files for campaign missions to use as a reference for tier scripting and mission creation. Better promise. Tier subsystems can now be defined as part of mod files, allowing Blueprint to make simulation-side modifications for unique gameplay features and mods. Added a version of the game's WWISE project to allow for modder exploration into audio modding. Reintroduces the Play in Editor button. This will allow testing of some mod content directly within the editor, speeding up iteration time and giving modders access to BBI's internal debugging tools. And I've reached the bottom of the Homeworld 3 patch notes. So look forward to that Homeworld 3 patch coming out in 3 days. I will try to stream it. No promises. But it's more likely than not purely
Arena combat.
because I want to.
Activating combat mode.
It's a good reason, isn't it? Good motivation. Wanting to do something helps you do it. Weird how that works, yeah? I should have just rammed them. Some of these enemies you can just sort of momentum through. I worry when we get to the big kiters. I'm also a little worried about Chartreuse because I'm slow now. Can't dodge all the bazookas anymore. But I have my own.
Main system activating combat mode.
Forgot to turn on hard lock. Z down. I vaguely get the perception that we are behind schedule in terms of getting to trainer and tester for this, but that's fine. Maybe we can just run through some roadblocks real quick. You know, with the momentum of an entire tank.
Main system activating combat mode.
That was a good hit. Okay. That was a little awkward, but we win. Sometimes Gwynburn just wants to stand still and do nothing.
Arena.
Main system activating combat mode.
I wonder why Gun 4 and Gun 5 don't have core expansions. Like in lore. I know they're not exactly cutting edge. Oh, we're still making good progress. I've run out of reading material, so I would like to pull the viewership right now. Hello, how are you doing? What is up? I don't know what to do with myself. This is mostly an act of tedium, and I need to keep my mind engaged.
Arena.
Like, it was bad enough when I was the other ACs, but now I'm a freaking tank. I do not need to think to win right now. I could use the company. Okay, that was Ring Freddy. We go to Hawkins. Like, normally I try to decompose what I'm doing and stuff, but I'm a tank. I'm Volta. There's not much to solve here. I shall blow things up in your honor, Acela. I shall make a big explosion and call it a star. There we go, there's your star. Okay, that was Hawkins. Time for Iguazu, the classic duo. Volta and Iguazu taking on Michigan for some reason.
Arena combat app.
Main system.
We fight.
Activating combat mode.
No, the guy. Their lead, their commander, the guy that like boot camps them into shape, is named Michigan. Presumably after not necessarily the state of Michigan, but the Michigan River. Every single member of the Red Guns is named after a river, as far as I understand. We got Michigan, we got Iguazu, we got Volta, Potomac's in there somewhere, Kennebec, Wuhai. Raven's allowed in the Red Guns preliminary as Gun 13 because the Raven River is a river that exists somewhere, I think. I'm missing some members. There's Nile. Of course, there's Nile. There's the Hawkins Iguazu. You're welcome. I'm glad I could provide you your daily dose of dynamite. Should have said daily dose of demolition. That would have been a lot more general purpose.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
I gotta start calling my regular Armored Core streams daily dose of demolition. Unfortunately, I already have a system where I try and make it an anagram, I try to make the acronym RFC, especially when I'm doing something involving the Rubicon Fight Club. Maybe if I were a tank main, I would do that. Because, like, tank, I look like a construction vehicle. Okay, that was Shinobi. Time for the mirror match. Gun for Volta Cannon Head versus me Cannon Head. There's gonna be a lot of explosions on this one. Second only perhaps to fighting Chartreuse.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
Though you maybe only see half the amount of explosions that there actually are, because I intend to dodge my enemy's explosions, and then they'll explode behind the camera. Oof. This is some classic unstoppable force meets immovable object stuff.
AP at 50%.
Target destroyed.
Okay, volted down. Time for Pater.
Main system activating combat mode.
Pater's going to be a little tricky because Pater is very explicitly evasive. He doesn't like to get close. Then again, maybe he does because he has that sword. Missed with the big cannon. I guess I'm thinking more of, Materlink. That's the evasive one, Materlink. Pater down, time for Sula. Oh yeah, there's Albany. That's another member of the Red Guns. Well, at least a member of Balaam. I don't know if the Red Guns specifically refer to the Armored Corps pilots. Because I don't think Albany's an AC pilot. They could be like Gun 12 or something, I don't know. Air shot. Oof. Tula is slippery. Tula is gone. Tula down. Time for Chatty. Another proponent of large amounts of explosions. Similar to Ring Freddy, but they swapped their hands and back weapon styles. And the missiles Chatty has are a bit more eccentric. As is RAD's specialty. Bonk. It'll be hard to hit Chatty. I think I need to focus more on my missiles and shotguns and then use like the big ol' hecked-off cannon as a punisher. Or as a finisher, I suppose. I say, completely ignoring my own advice. And winning. That's just how it goes. Time for Tsubasa, one of the heaviest ACs versus one of the lightest.
Main system activating combat mode.
Okay, the result was perhaps as expected. Just gets steamrollered. I am suddenly curious about something. What is the minimum number of hits it takes to destroy any possible AC? Well, not any possible AC, a specific AC. Like, you get freaking jailbreak on it or something. Like, you're trying to optimize for, like, the least amount of hits. There are two parts to this. One is what weapon do you use, and two is what AC do you hit. Now, I'm not sure exactly about the AC hit. It's probably just something with a lot of low AP, low armor rating. Maybe you sacrifice some more AP for having weaker defenses for that particular weapon type, maybe? All of these are possible considerations. As far as the weapon you use, I suspect that the choice would be almost obviously the pile bunker. I think the pile bunker is the most powerful individual shot weapon of the entire game. And I know that it is very common, or at least you occasionally see it, where you have a... like, the pile bunker charge shot can destroy an enemy in one hit while staggered, but that requires them to be staggered, which might change the equation a little bit if you catch my drift.
Main system.
Because staggered enemies take damage multipliers based on the weapon they're hit with. This is called the direct hit adjustment, and it does matter. Carla down. So I would expect something like... the jailbreak is weak, but it's also it's still got like armor on it. My suspicion is that it would be a pile bunker against basically Rusty. Would give you the best odds of a one-hit kill. That's my theory. We could try it out. Like pile bunker, basho arms. I don't even know if you need the Kikaku. That's not going to increase your damage.
Main system activating combat mode.
See what we can do. Maybe we do more damage if the opponent is behind us? I don't know. I also can't really test this without like a willing participant, because the only AC I could test in ideal circumstances that wouldn't fight back is the tester AC. And the tester AC is vaguely well-rounded. It's a Melander AC. Not the most fragile thing in existence, unfortunately for our test. How did you survive that? There we go. Solved your existence. I reduced the heck out of that fraction. Okay, well that's Cold Call. We are now in the top 10. Well, maybe we're in the top 10 with Cold Call. Not the point. The point is we're reaching the end of the records section of the arena.
Arena combat.
With very little complications, Volta's kinda strong in the hands of any regular player of the game versus any non-player opponent. The CPU opponents are not well equipped to punish the playstyle of a tank. Aside from being very evasive like Rusty is right now. So honestly, good job, Rusty. And I just barreled through that like it didn't even happen. I sit here. I ambush you. And we're through. Doo-doo-doo. Next up is Honest Brute. Flamethrower Master. I wonder what AC Honest Brute would pilot if he didn't steal Milktooth.
Main system activating combat mode.
He stole Milktooth from RAD. I try to imagine ACs as being an extension of the piloter. So I envision AC design as being like a perfect representation of their like inner mind and soul and stuff. Which is true for me because I get to design my own AC. And I consider Tidewater to a large extent to just be an extension of myself. Perfectly optimized for the way I want to play. Though I must say that Joyous Guard is also pretty nice. I get to wear different suits of giant robot, depending on how I'm feeling on a given day. One of my arms is just Tidewater. Yeah, like Tidewater's an arm of mine, and like Joyous Guard is like an elbow of the other arm.
Main system.
It's like a
activating
hand.
combat mode.
But not the rest of the arm, I think. Oh, that was quick. I want to get, like, a drawing of me. I need to commission somebody. I need to stop being afraid of commissioning people. I also need to get money so that I can commission people. But a thing I want commissioned is a... like a... like a drawing of me as normal, not Tidewatered up or anything.
Arena combat
But
aptitude
I
evaluation
have
program.
the
Number 6.
Main system.
like I have the weapons of
activating
Tidewater. Like in one hand I have the Majestic, another hand I have the explosive thrower, which is kind of like double duty as a shield, and then I just have the True Nose as basically wings. I kind of want that for myself. I want that drawing made. I want it to be like the de facto image of me as Armored Core playing person. Bonus points if I'm in the pose of the Masked Man from Mother 3. But I feel like that would be a bit too somber for my general fun vibes of Armored Core 6. So maybe just something more general and actiony. Still though, the weapon suite between Tidewater and the Masked Man minus the True Nose is alarmingly similar. Pardon me as I fix a problem I am having currently. It'll only take a moment. I do occasionally experience a technical problem. I would like to not. They shouldn't stop the conquest. I can keep going. We just did Open Faith, and now it's time for Chartreuse. The Chartreuseist. It is
Arena
Chartreux.
combat aptitude evaluation program. Number 5. Rank A.
Main system.
This is a
activating
problem with
combat mode.
having a stream powered entirely by duct tape. Sometimes you have to reapply the tape. It kind of peels off over time. Okay, this one's gonna be tough because how am I gonna like actually do this? Chartreuse is like a bulldozer. Ah, yeah, this is exactly what I'm worried about. Okay. Ramming speed. Ramming speed.
EXC at 50%.
Okay, we did it. Not actually that bad. Turns out, when you're durable, you can take a few hits. Don't mind. I expect there to be a little bit of a complication with Domain. They have a melee weapon. Also, they have the fire, which just sits on the ground. I'm not very fast, so I might sit in it for a while, and that might just build up the pain. Things to consider. Aside from the Domain loadout itself, I don't expect there to be much problems beyond, like, the fight will be and is currently different, but not particularly more challenging. Those differences are more a curiosity than a cause for concern. Oh. I'm dodging.
AP at 50%.
There we go. Dude. Alright. King.
Arena combat.
Main system activating combat mode.
Oh, they were clever. They dropped the shield so that they had their shield next time they shielded.
50%.
It looked like I dodged under that bullet. The way I sort of crouched down to do the jump, it looked like I dodged under. Like a little scrunched myself down so that the bullet didn't hit me. Alright, here's Michigan. Acela, if you were wondering about Michigan, this is Michigan. I like Michigan because he's a tetrapod and he uses the explosive thrower. One of my favorite melee weapons in the game. Something I use on Tidewater. He's kind of like a heavier, bulkier Tidewater. I would also say he's more optimized for team fights given the shield. Like this giant bubble shield that is deployed. He's definitely a team player in personality. And now he's gone. Oh, time for Freud. Freud time.
Final arena.
Freud moment.
Main system activating combat mode.
Freud occurrence. Bonk. He dodged the bonk. That was a good use of shield. I would acknowledge and respect that was a good leading your shot. Ow. I have lost. That didn't... Freud does have a good amount of stuff that kind of snuffs me out. The 5-pip bazooka makes it harder to dodge. The whirly bird. His general evasiveness. Actually a situation where Freud lives up to their reputation as a top Vesper. go long range for a bit.
AP at 50%.
There we are. Do. Time for the integration, and we're back ahead of schedule. This is good.
Integration program.
Main system activating combat mode. AP at 50%.
Very good, very good. At a rate of just sort of repeatedly winning, I am definitely keeping consistent with beating 1 AC to completion per hour. It's been surprisingly consistent. But if I mesh with an AC, I guess I mesh with an AC.
Activating combat mode.
The AC mesh is real. If I figure out a way to win, I can win with it. I mean, it's not to say that it will just get easier and easier as I go up the arena ranking, but I don't expect much problems until I have to go back and finish Z and Mad Stomp and all those. Because those are just under-tooled ACs. Inefficient,
Activating combat mode.
slow, bulky, with glaring weaknesses. Mind beta down. Wrong one, two, mind gamma. We should maybe have enough time for Institute and Rubiconian. Oop. Wait a minute, isn't this the one I just fought? Did I already fight everyone, or did I miss one? I thought I just fought mine... Wait. I don't remember. I did mind alpha. Did I do... I did mind beta. Did I do mind alpha? I think I did mind alpha. I think I did all three already. So... I'm going to Corporation. My memory is my focus is low. My memory, therefore, is low.
Integration.
I only noticed because I realized that I was on Watchpoint Delta, and I remember just being on that map right then and there. But now I'm worried. I'm worried that I did forget one of the mines. Like, I accidentally skipped mine. No, because I fought in there. Did I skip mine Alpha? Or did I not skip anyone at all? And I'm just paranoid. I know not the truth of the matter. You know that this person is being a chump. Choosing to get hit. I'm very convincing. On to Baconian.
Integrate.
Main system activating
If I
combat
get that
mode.
to skip fast enough, I can make all mine say int. Which would be good brand recognition. Okay, Rubiconian down. And with the timing, I vote we do Tester and Trainer now. During the ad break.
Integration.
Main system activating combat mode.
Here I go. Trainer was never gonna beat me on my home turf. Well, you know, the cannon head turf. Good, good. Time for Tester.
Integration program.
Main system activating combat mode.
Yay.
Target destroyed. The data will be integrated into Mind Alpha.
Vroom, vroom.
Thank you for your assistance.
Did it. Okay, that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Institute. Institute's a tricky one. It's got energy weapons. Hey, Thega, hello, how you doing? I'm just in the middle of finishing the arena with Volta. Earlier occurrences today were me finishing it with Iguazu and Rokumonsen. I'll be honest, beating it at Volta has not been all that difficult. There you go. I was convinced that the previous volley of missiles would have done it, which is why I walked away. Tragically, it seems that they were pretty good at dodging missiles after all. Alright, cool. Glad you could just spontaneously exist for like 30 seconds.
Main system.
Have a good
Activating
appearance
combat
and disappearance. You too. Also, thank you. I was waiting for the little defeated text to show up, but that was a plot relevant arena mission, so you get a cutscene instead. Okay, time for Ortus. Acella's here as well, so you can say hi and bye to Acella if you wanted, just for completion.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
Ba-boom. There we go. Now we just sort of leave. In fact, I'm going to manual mode. I'm going to try and hit Steel Haze Ortus with a shotgun shot fired manually. Got him! Manual destruction on that one. Time for Hal.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
That's Hal down. One more, and then we're done. With Volta, to clarify. Echo time.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
misgauging the distance between me and Echo. Didn't misgauge that, though. Alright, Volta complete. Assuming I haven't missed any, admittedly. The tedium sort of just autopilots, and I might have missed Mind Alpha. Someone will have to check the logs, I suppose. If not, it's a perfectly easy fix. I just go and do that fight again. I'm completely confident in my ability to win it, but I'm just not sure if I've actually done it. Great. Well, that's 3 down. I don't know if I want to start Dual Nature. I don't know if I want to Pater. I feel like Pater is going to be a little bit of a pain. And also, we can maybe do some work on some of the incomplete ones. Either Bitter Promise or Burn Pickaxe or Mad Stomper UAU. Given that it's the one I think I'm the most concerned about, let's go UAU. Next up is Sula for UAU. So let's do that. That's pretty far. We got up to Sula. We already beat Volta. That's pretty good. What makes ZE, or UAU in general, more difficult to deal with is that unlike something like other heavyweight ACs, the weapons we have are so committal. You gotta stand there and shoot. Which stinks. Frankly, it might be a better strategy just for me to kick people repeatedly forever. But this means that, like, if I ever make a mistake, that mistake is permanent. And, like, the enemy can just do that. Plus, the actual stats in terms of other things aren't particularly good. Well, at least we're making progress once more. Entangle's done. And we can move on for a few before we get into a fight we already did in the initial random phase of this project. Okay. Now for Chatty. Chatty's a bad... I mean, the reason that particular ACs are going to be a struggle is the same for all the ACs. They're just a slightly different context. I have an idea. Wait, I just had an idea. It won't help with Chatty all that much, but I do have an idea. Because we're not just UAU. We're me using UAU. And that matters.
AP at 50%.
As you're about to see. Punch! 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 You see the vision. It didn't work, but you see the vision. I can ditch one of my weapons and gain a melee attack. It might make a difference at some point.
Main system activating combat mode.
You know what? I'm gonna maybe not ditch the second bazooka as quickly. It's still got utility.
Main system activating combat mode.
More of a finisher. Darn it. Okay. Shields up.
AP at 30%.
Ah! Oh! Congratulations on finishing it, Capper. Do you want to like show me it? Send it to me? I guess that I got a Discord notification. I assume that's you sending it. Oh, we beat Chatty though. Fortaleza tank is a good is a very, very powerful combination of fast but durable. Against a fast but not durable opponent, we can use the bazookas and hit them and not have to do that many times and not lose on the attrition. On a slow but durable opponent, we can just hit them with bazookas over time more reliably. Here's an example of fast but not durable, and we'll see how good we do. Turns out evasive is evasive. Hey. What do you mean I don't need to see it?
Target destroyed.
I'm in it.
Concludes C rank evaluation. Well done.
Okay, so beat Tsubasa. Let's just check the list. That's up to here. It is Milktooth that we have already fought previously. Good to know. Kind of enticing. Like I want to look at it. The notification's right there. I could go look at it, but also I'm scared. But also I'm excited, but also I'm scared. More importantly, I'm about to fight O'Keefe. Keep the shield up.
AP at 50%.
Wow, you're good on the quick boost, are you?
AP at 30%. 50%.
Okay, Barren Flower might be actually a bit tough. Ooh, oi, oi, oi. Okay.
Main system.
This is gonna take some
Combat mode.
focus. Concentrated effort. The plasma counters my shield pretty well. Especially when I'm so stationary. Back up. Just let the shield drain. I don't need to do anything. Like there, you see, very, very decisively. Well, it seems like Tsubasa's or Barren Flower's worse at dodging when at a different elevation than me. Okay, now we just need like 1 or 2 good, clean hits in the future. Yes! Alright, I thought you were gonna go sleep. You're gonna sleep in 5 minutes? And then wake up again? Alright, I won't look at it. Let me know when you're back and then I'll look at it. No guarantee I'll actually show it, though. Okay, time for Carla. Carla does not really dodge all that much. So the biggest threat with Carla is going to be the missile spam that I can't really dodge while shooting bazooka. So as long as I keep this patient and just fire bazooka in between Carla's firing cycles, should be good. Question is, will I do that in the heat of the moment? Answer is probably not if I'm like overconfident and stuff. Okay, maybe I will. Then a kick. Bazooka. What kind of bazookas are these? Are these the Iridium? Oh, that was close. There it is.
Nice.
Okay, so that was Carla. Next up is Cold Call. Cold Call is a threat. Cold Call is just very good at their job, and their job is specifically murder. Cold Call is not to be underestimated. The call is very cold. It will freeze you in place. You know, with the Wooger. Ah, you crafty baloney. Okay. I think the plan is just, unrelenting aggression, back Cold Call into a cold corner.
AP at 30%.
So. Oh, ow. just barely not enough.
Main system activating combat mode. AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Killed up. No, no, no! Ah, that would have done it! That would have done it! Welcome back, Capper. I'm currently embroiled in a fierce combat with Cold Call. I'll look at the picture in a second.
Main system.
Looking at the
activating
picture will be
combat
my
mode.
reward for beating Cold Call.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Oh. Oh, this is so fierce. This is so close.
Main system activating combat mode.
I can do this. Well, that's a good start, if anything. Missed it.
AP at 50%. AP at
Go.
30%.
Oh, I should have kicked instead. Or even punched. I can't do chip
Main
damage.
system activating combat mode.
I'm only regular damage. I can only do chunk damage. Okay. We got him. Okay. Okay. We got him. Alright. I want to close the gap between the fights with Z and the fights with Z that already happened. So I know I said I would look at it after Cold Call. I'll look at it after Rusty. I don't think Rusty will be as hard.
Arena combat.
Alright, let's do this. Let's go fast. Let's speed it.
System activating combat mode.
Rusty, I'm stealing your AC so I can do the events of the Liberator of Rubicon ending. Gotcha.
AP at 50%.
Close.
At 30.
There it is. Okay. Now, if I check my spreadsheet, I should have a solid line between the start and Milktooth. Now that Still Haze has been beaten as well. Excellent. Very, 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 very good. Okay. I've earned my victory. Time to look at this art. Get ready, Capper. It's happening. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Fancy. I got like a coat and I got pants and I got the fancy like quasi glasses, which are more like normal glasses instead of non-normal glasses. This is definitely based off that one drawing you made of me in the heckin' subway or whatever. You know what? I will show this to people. Get ready, Capper. You're about to be seen on stream. Well, not you, but like this art that you made. I'm saving it as g.png because I needed a letter. Let's show this off. Hit the plus button, hit the heckin' media image. There we go. Shall also be called G in OBS. Oh, I thought the gray was transparency. I think that's just, you just exported it as gray background. That makes sense. Okay. Alright. Get ready for you people, because Capper has made a thing. You can see it kind of jutting in from the side, a little bit of gray. Here it is! Behold, it's me, kinda! Ta-da! It's real. Capra made it! It's here, look at it, it's nice. Ooh. Cool, I got like some sort of fancy business casual type thing going on. My hair is like shorter than normal, but that's cool. I also got like pure black shoe and pant. Capra having strong opinions on my actual canonicity. Oh no, Capra, are you having drawer's remorse? It's nice. I like this. Cool. Well, I'm gonna leave with this. This is like, why stream anymore? I got the treasure. Great. Well, I'm gonna go. Thank you, Capra, for this. Thank you, everyone else, for watching. Thank you, Capra, for also watching. Because you did that as well. Like, you didn't draw this instead of watching. You did both. It was a combined effort. I'm gonna go. I'm Exception. This is In TV. Have a good day, and good night.